It's a Relationship Friday, and I asked the question earlier. Should women propose? If you are a man, you've been dating a woman for a while, and then one day she gets down on one knee, looks into your eyes and says, "Will you marry me?" How would you feel about it? As a woman, you are used to men chasing you, and yet there's this one guy, he's just not saying what you want to hear. Would you go out on a limb and propose to him yourself? How would you feel doing that? What is our society's opinion on women asking men to marry them? You've heard my opinion on that already, but I have a differing opinion in studio today. It's coming from Reverend Emmanuel Ambrose. He's the resident pastor of Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry.
Deputy resident pastor.
Deputy resident pastor of the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. And he's in studio with me this morning. We'll be joined by Kemini Nyamani Amano in a little while. But we're starting the conversation on whether or not women should propose. Pastor, what do you think?
Well, I believe that society has made its trends and society has made its sets up. And I believe that there's a time coming where it's going to be very open. Yeah, currently it is not very open. It's not an open thing to do for a woman to speak out her feelings about a man and say that I want you to marry me. And a lot of people believe that the woman is belittling herself when she says so. But I believe that where the woman has got her convictions and she's able to weigh all the pros and cons of the relationship that we have traveled over a period, she should be able to find a way of making the man know that she is ready. If he is not speaking, if he is not saying what must be said, I believe that she can take certain steps. She has to see the man more. She has to get closer to him in terms of interactions and activity. And I believe that when she's able to do that and play her cards well, then the man will come in and say, okay, I think that we need to get married. In that case, the man may not even necessarily say that he's stating a proposal because everything is on the wall. The words are very, very clearly written on his face and on her face, and so they don't have a problem. He can just go ahead and speak to her as if they have agreed, because she may have pulled the biggest strings. He's just responding.
I don't know. For me, I like things to be clear-cut and decided. You know you're headed in this direction, you know this is happening, you know this is being said. So for me, I prefer it. I think that men should propose. If you're dating a man and you're not seeing what you want to see, then it's probably because it isn't there in the first place.
Well, that has been, as I said early on, an accepted norm that the men should do the proposal clearly at a particular point of late in style. We have all kinds of ways that men are proposing to women. But I believe that the woman must be able to show by clear action that she's willing. And that if she's willing and the man is not speaking, she should take extra steps to let the man know that she is, I don't want to use the word push, but she's pushing a little for the man to have that courage, because a lot of men don't have the courage. A lot of men are afraid, some of them are shy and other things. So it's like, if you don't say it, then how can we go? Because every action that you have led him to follow is very clear that he's following it to the letter. You are giving suggestions, he takes them. You are moving forward, he follows. Because you see, the man is the head of the house, is eventually the head of the house.
Yeah.
But may not necessarily be the leader in the house. The woman could take the lead cautiously, not playing into a role of the head of the relationship. Yeah. And so in the same manner, the woman can take these similar steps and tell the man, I mean, without words, if it's possible, without words, that she is taking the lead for us to get married, and the man will follow and eventually be enthroned as the leader. I mean, as the head of the house.
Okay, so now I need to ask you to define a proposal. Is it just when one person gets down on one knee, holds up a beautiful ring and says, "Oh, will you marry me?" Or can the little push that you're describing be described as a proposal also?
Yes, I believe that it can be described as a proposal, but as I said earlier on, there is no specific way of doing it, as it is in the case of a man who will say that I want to marry you. Will you accept it? I mean, that is a clear-cut proposal. But on the other hand, this woman is taking the lead in an action form. Yes, in an action form. She's leading the man on. The man is accepting. In fact, everything shows that the man is in love, the woman is in love, but we need to cross a certain line so that all the other challenges and the how do you call them, competitors will be pushed into the background. And I believe that when a woman flows in this direction, it is very easy for the man to say, okay, let's keep going. And then they follow up with whatever plans and arrangements to do the official arrangements.
Okay, now when I was doing a little research on the topic, I noticed that age might be a bit of a factor in women taking the lead and asking men. There were a few people who were rather young, just out of their teens, but they had been dating the person throughout their teens, and they thought, well, let's get him saying something. And then there were those who were more matured in age and felt they didn't have much time left. You know, their biological clock was ticking, or all their peers had gotten married, and the person they're with didn't seem to be in a hurry to say anything. And so they needed to give him a push. Is age the factor, or is it the length of the relationship, the age of the relationship, or the age of the person?
Well, a relationship has to do with an agreement by two matured people. Not really age, but maturity is the thing that counts. When I'm talking about maturity, I'm talking about the fact that somebody is working, he's ready, he's able to plan his life out, he's able to plan activities to suit the two of them. They've been talking about today and tomorrow. Yeah, they've been talking about the relationship as it has been. They are correcting mistakes. They are open. Other people are looking at them and seeing them. And then he comes in with, I mean, we come in with a maturity where he's talking about the future. And the two of them are having a lot of agreements. I believe that this is what makes the thing to go. In that case, then there's no problem. There's no barrier. They can just forward whatever they have to do and get this marriage thing done. I believe that it is not really how long. So there are couples who have been together for a long time, but the differences between them are so big that they cannot be together. They'll fight a lot over issues.
Then why are they dating?
Well, there's a case that I handled, and when I asked them, just like the woman was saying, it looks like when I get out, I would have wasted his time. And the man says the same thing. We've moved together for 9 years, and I believe that if I get out, everybody will accuse me of wasting his time and her time.
Wow.
And so they enter into marriage, and it has been like Russia versus US.
I'm going to open the phone lines now. You can join in on this discussion. You can call us on 0302 211 691 or 0302 211 692. Or you can drop us a line on our Facebook page. It's Joy News on TV. Same handle will get you to our Twitter feed, and you can send us a message on the short code 1706. I'm speaking with Reverend Emmanuel Ambrose. He's the Deputy Resident Pastor for the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. The question is, should women propose? Tell us your experience. Now, do you think we're heading towards the day when eventually a woman will pay a dowry for a man here in Ghana? You think it's possible?
Here in Ghana?
Yeah.
It is possible. Everything is possible these days in this world.
I mean, some women are already helping out
in fact,
with the bride
yes,
price.
A lot. Not only helping, but taking over the whole show. In some cases, the bride price. After all, everything comes back to them. Once they believe that they are getting married to the right persons, they go in and provide all the things that must be provided. But the man is the one who does the presentation. And it's a beautiful thing when they go through that. But to get to a point where it has to be in the open, to say that the woman has to pay the bride price, or is it the husband price? It's not going to be very easy because of tradition. Yeah, our perception on traditional issues are very difficult to change.
Okay.
There are people I've met who have said that they don't want to follow tradition, they don't want to go through our customary things, but when it gets to certain points, they bow to it. And so I think it's very difficult for us to get to a point where the woman will do the presentation of items and say that, I mean, she carries her family members to the man's home and then take them to the place, gather all the man's family members and do the presentation of items. It is not going to be a today affair at all. It's not going to be a today affair.
All right. You can join the discussion. It's 0302 211 691 or 0302 211 692. Frederick from Obuasi, if you're still watching us, please call back. We missed your call. So, a few instances I saw, women proposed because the men had asked them on a number of occasions before, but the women felt they weren't ready, or there was one problem or another, and they said no. Or maybe they agreed and then a little ways down the line, they changed their minds. Now things are back on track, but the man isn't asking. So they decided to take the bull by the horns. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that it ends up in the same place. It ends up in the same place, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so if they have, I mean, the man has showed his intentions over a time, and the woman keeps pushing him back. At a point, he can decide to relax. When you're ready, tell me. Yeah, and then we get together into it. It's possible that way too. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
How much thought should go into a proposal?
I think
Does it have to be a formal event?
It doesn't need to be a formal event.
Okay.
It doesn't need at all to be a formal event. Interestingly, when I wanted to marry my wife, I told her that, do you know what? I'm going to get married to you. And it wasn't a thing that I was expecting a response to. It was a straightforward thing. We had run along for a while. I have seen everything that I wanted to see in terms of quality of the person, her tastes, and whatever adjustment that I need to do with her. I was ready to adjust, and I seen that she was also ready to adjust to me. And so I didn't feel like I needed to ask a question and wait for a response.
Okay.
So I just went straight.
Okay.
But
let's go straight to Fred from Obuasi. We've gotten him back on the line. Good morning, Fred, and thank you for calling back.
Good morning. I would like to contribute.
Go ahead.
Looking at it from the biblical point, when you read Genesis, it is the Bible did not state that a man should propose to a woman, neither a woman should propose to a man. The Bible says both will come together. So a woman can propose to a man, and a man can also propose to a woman. That's the point.
Okay, Fred, has a woman proposed to you before?
Yes, but it was indirectly.
How did she do it?
No, her just the way she will talk to you. I mean, if you design, you will know this is what she means. Just that they can't go straight to the point. As women, we go straight to the point. But she will talk indirectly, and you will know as a man. You will know.
Okay, how did you feel?
You feel pompous. You see, after all, I mean, a woman opposed to you, so you feel very comfort. But all this is normal. I see it to be normal.
Okay.
Because we are all human, yeah.
All right, Fred, thank you for calling.
Thank you very much.
Reverend, he says women can't ask directly the way that men can. Okay, I have Charles on the line. Let's talk to him and then you can answer that. Good morning, Charles. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Kumasi.
Yeah.
Charles, has a woman proposed to you?
No, actually, but it was through signs.
Pardon?
Through signs.
It was through signs, yesterday.
Okay, so she didn't say it, you saw it in her actions.
Yeah.
Charles, how did that make you feel?
I felt very good, but I think that's not the best.
Why do you think it's not the best?
In fact, it would have been better if she could have said.
It would have been better if she had said it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, if it was verbal.
Uh-huh. But why didn't you say it? Why didn't you propose to her?
I did propose to her, but from then it was so easy. But, you know, these women signs, they will still be doing their things, like you're not giving early. Yeah, to prove that, oh, it's a lady. So if she said, in fact, it will still from a lot of stress and all those things.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for calling us, Charles. From one Charles to another Charles. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Charles. Where are you calling from?
I'm Robert. I live from Brongahafo.
You are Robert.
Yeah.
So sorry. Where are you calling from?
Brongahafo.
Brongahafo. And have you been proposed to?
Yes, somehow, yeah.
Somehow? Why, she didn't say it?
I don't know. Madam,
Yes.
you know, if a woman gets the one she wants to propose, you know that.
If a woman gets the one she wants,
Yeah, she proposes.
she proposes.
Yeah. What it is that, in my case, for instance, we went into friendship.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends, yes, up to some point. I don't know, but she didn't say it openly, but I realized that maybe she saw the proposal wasn't coming forth, so she expected it. So she has to come up bold, ask, and demand whether what we call friendship has anywhere to go. So in a way, indirectly, it was a proposal.
Okay. Robert, why didn't you propose to her?
Oh, I didn't at the first. I got, like the man said, I was like waiting to see certain things. You understand?
You were not ready.
Not that I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I was. Intimate as our friendship was. I was ready, but I thought I could see one or two things yet before. But it was quite. I mean, we got on and we are good till now.
Well, thank you for calling in, Robert. Well, that was our last call, and these are the dying moments of the AM show. You can continue the discussion on our Facebook page, Joy News on TV, or on Twitter, the same handle, Joy News on TV. Keep the messages coming in because this is a topic that we have only grazed the surface of. I'm sure we'll go in deeper at a later date. Reverend, let me have your last words.
Well, I want to tell the men out there that a lot of times this has to be because they are not speaking. I want to encourage every man who has done his studies and his groundwork very well and is confident about himself, mature as he is, to remove the POP and say what he has to say very openly and clearly, because in this world we are supposed to be bold. Okay. So just say what is there and expect whatever answer that is coming and accept the answer heartily and amicably.
All right. Well, that was Reverend Emmanuel Ambrose, the Deputy Resident Pastor of the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. My name is Jennifer Jane Asante. You've been watching the AM show from Roland and the rest of the crew. Have a good weekend.